There's one YouTuber I know, which I also take advice from and inspiration from. And the same thing happened to his channel as well. Truly, when I tell you by the fact that I really believe in you. Yes, I do. I believe in you. No matter the circumstances, no matter the challenges, no matter anything life has thrown at you, no matter how many times life has drop kicked you on the floor over and over again, no matter how much ridiculous things the world has given you and dropped down to you, you're still here. You're still fighting. While chaos, while the world is burning, your life is a miserable hellhole, you're still holding on. You're still working hard. You're still holding on to your dreams, goals, ambitions. You don't care about what the public says. You don't care about what your parents say. You don't care about what your girlfriend says. You don't care about what your relatives say. You don't care about anything. Piss off WhatsApp. You just genuinely don't care what anybody says. Because you know that it only takes one moment, one fateful moment. It only takes 1 second for your life to instantly change. The same goes for this YouTube channel. I might not have the most views right now. I might only now get few like 3 to 5 views. I might only get that small of a number. But remember, when you will prove to God that you're worthy of the reward, all it will take for him is to do this, and it is given to you. All I have to do is prove to the Lord that I'm worthy enough. When I have proven it to him, it will only take 1 second. In one of my videos, I can guarantee you, one of my videos in the future in my channel is just gonna be like this monotone, stale graph. It's gonna keep being like this. And then God sees that, yes, my child is worthy of receiving the reward. And then all of a sudden, boom, instantly skyrockets. And we all know those who are on self-improvement, those who are the people who are working off every single day, those who are trying to improve themselves every single day, their chart will go from this monotone graph to just a boom, just an explosion on success. It will just immediately rise up. There are countless channels. There are hundreds upon hundreds of channels that experience the same thing. They're just slowly rising up, slowly, and then they blow up in popularity. There is one YouTuber I know, which I also take advice from and inspiration from, and the same thing happened to his channel as well. It only took one video for him. His past videos only had a couple hundred views. He had only 600 subscribers. It only took one video for him. When he published that video, instantly, boom, 2 million views and 50,000 subscribers by his side. And this is the most amazing thing. This is the most amazing thing the universe has created. Delayed gratification is in fact an exciting feeling. It's in fact an exciting thing. Being excited in delayed gratification is in fact a good thing. Because you exactly know that while your friends, all these other people in college, work, school, whatever, are having fun, that fun isn't gonna last long. Because I have a question, bro. Are you willing to enjoy only 6 years of your life or 60 years of your life? The choice is up to you. Yeah, you can drop down the sword now and enjoy these 6 years by partying, smoking, fapping, drinking. You can do all of those. I mean, God gave us free will. But in the Bible, it also says, I can do everything, but not everything is good for me. I mean, yeah, you can fap. You have free will for that. Just accept the fact that accept the fact that your mind is gonna be fried. Your dopamine systems are gonna be hijacked, destroyed beyond repair. Just remember that your relationships with your family and girlfriend will be forever crippled. Just remember those things. I mean, yeah, you can drink. But just be ready to pay the full price by damaging your liver. I mean, yeah, you can go to parties. You can have fun, yay! Just remember that you will have to pay the price of of losing your best teenage years. Just remember, the teenage years are one of the biggest gifts God has given you. For 3 things. In your teenage years, God gives you the most strength, gives you the most knowledge, He gives you the most resilience. Because, bro, your teenage years is like a steroid. Genuinely. Your teenage years are like a steroid. While they're 40-year-old men injecting it artificially to grow muscle mass. You don't even need to do that because of the amounts of testosterone you get in your teenage years. That phase of 10 years in your teenagehood is the best, which is the reason why you should never waste it. And I'm really proud that you still haven't wasted it. I'm very proud that you're right now suffering in this moment of silence. I'm very proud of them. I'm very proud of you, bro. That you haven't submitted to the world and started to do these sinful habits, and instead improved on yourself. Instead are suffering now. Instead are brokenhearted. And if you think, here's another thing. If you think you are alone in this battle, if you think there's nobody on your side, then remember Psalm 34:18-19. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted. He rescues those whose spirits are crushed. The righteous person faces many troubles, but the Lord comes to the rescue each time. What this verse reminds you, and reminds me sometimes, is that no matter what happens, God is always on your side. He is always standing behind you. He is always standing next to you, waiting for you to say, Lord, I can't do this anymore. Help me. He's always waiting for that one phrase, that one sentence from you, that you need help. Because we all know that we cannot do anything on our own, genuinely. And if you don't believe me, then recall your life. Genuinely recall your moments you did, all of everything you did. Let's take a very simple example from my life. I was undisciplined. I didn't want to work. And when I tried to work, I didn't do it the way I was supposed to. And when I surrendered my life to Christ, every single realm of my life became so much easier. It just became so much easier knowing the fact that you're always being strengthened. It's like an XP booster or an XP multiplier. You know those XP multipliers in video games? Except the fact that, imagine a video game. And in the video game, XP is the most valuable thing. It is very hard to get. And the only easiest way to get them is through XP multipliers. God is like an XP multiplier. Whenever you submit to Him, surrender to Him and say, God, I can't do this. Help me. Whenever you take some parts of your day to read this, everything in your life becomes easier. It becomes easier to beat your addictions. It becomes easier to do your work. It becomes easier to not feel stressed about minute things which you don't even need to be stressed. So please. And also the same message which I just mentioned is also being mentioned in Matthew 11-28, which says, "Come all to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest in your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." The same thing also goes for sin. Whenever you're sinning, whenever you cause the sin, God doesn't come to you and says, how dare you do this against me? You should be ashamed of yourself. God doesn't do that. Instead, he says, get up, my child. Keep walking. For as I am faithful to forgive you, and I want to see you succeed through me. God isn't a barbaric God. He is gracious and loving. And the way how to prove this of his great and the way to prove his immeasurable amounts of grace and love for us is 2,000 years ago. It's 2,000 years ago when we took Jesus, whipped him to the point where you can see his muscle tissue and bones, strapped him in purple robes, and forced him to carry an extremely heavy cross to a mountain which is kilometers away from the city. And when he reached that point, we stripped him so the regenerated tissue was ripped off with the robes, and we nailed him to a cross. And we did it, and God allowed it to happen so that we shall be saved. And by the way, also, I want to mention you will never be perfect. We all won't be perfect. And the reason why God allowed us to nail Jesus and let him die on the cross is simply because he was the only way. It was the only way. It was the only way to save us. God knew there was only one solution, and that is to bring an offering that is perfect and pure. I really hope you watch this video because I genuinely believe in you. You have potential. You have what it takes. God created you for a reason. He didn't pick you out to be born on this earth just like from a slot machine or from a vending machine. No. He selected you because God loves to see the frail, the broken, the miserable turned into pillars of success. Let's take the story of Matthew, for example. He was betrayed by his own brothers, his own family. Because his father loved him way more than his other brothers, they were jealous of him. When his father died, they betrayed him and sold him into slavery. And he had to go through all of these miserable parts of his life. He was sold into slavery and he was betrayed. And he had to always go through this hardship. Constant hardship. Because he didn't surrender from the Lord and always submitted to him. After all of this pain, eventually, in the end of Jacob's story, guess what happens? After all of Jacob's suffering, he gets the second highest ranking power in Egypt. He becomes the Pharaoh's left hand. He becomes the second most powerful man in Egypt after being sold into slavery, after going all through this hardship, after being put into prison and rotting there for years. God eventually blessed him by giving them the power, being the second most powerful man in Egypt. And this is what happens to every single one who does not surrender, who does not give up on the Lord, and keeps moving forward. So do not give up and continue fighting for your goals, bro. And if you need any questions, comment down below. I will answer them. I will answer them. I won't answer them by short phrases or useless phrases some YouTubers do. No. I will give you a step-by-step list on what you should do. And besides the point, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe for more content like this. And I see you tomorrow. Jesus loves you.